Fury Media presents Rumble vs. the Airwaves, a music, nostalgia, gaming, and culture podcast. I'm Tim. Here's Rumble.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Rumble versus the Airwaves. On today's episode, we got a super cool interview with, I think we can officially call friend of the podcast, Motion
Yes, I
Sick.
would agree.
I hope they would agree. I want to be friends so bad. Sam Stafford from Motion Sick. They just dropped their new album
Today.
Yeah, isn't that so cool? So you can go check that out right now. We're going to get to that interview a little bit later. But for now, how's it going, Tim?
What's going on, man? I've been playing a lot of Fortnite.
Oh, yeah?
I've resisted it for years. My kids have always asked me to play it, and now I've been playing it all the time, and I think I got a problem.
I think I have played Fortnite a total of 3 times. I think I've played 3 rounds.
You should play more Fortnite.
I mean, I have a Switch, so I could.
Yeah, there you go.
How much is it?
It's free.
For real?
Yeah, it's a free game.
Like this whole time it's been free?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that was like the-
free, and then you pay
That was
for
like the
skins
whole
and battle pass.
That was
and-
like the whole big thing with Fortnite. It's
I
like,
think
oh my God, you could go and play for free.
I have spent $19 on it.
That's not bad.
I just get like the battle pass. I'm not gonna like buy individual skins. I don't have money like that.
Can you explain the battle pass to me?
So
Because I hear the phrase battle
every time
pass
you
a
go
lot.
up a level, you get stars.
Okay.
You take the stars and you can use them on the battle pass to unlock skins, different like things.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
get and
How-
V-Bucks
How do you level up? Just by being good? Just
by getting XP.
and
I
you-
like getting like kills,
you get kills
hits, assists,
word.
chopping stuff up, building things, whatever.
I played Fortnite last. I remember the exact day. I had driven my car. I used to have a car that was very low to the ground. I had driven my car into a puddle that was a little too deep, and I almost waterlogged the engine. And it just so happened, I was on my way to work. I was like, I'm not going to work today. But it just so happened that I was very close to my brother's house. So I called him, and I was like, hey, here's what happened. Can you help me out? So I just went to his house. He gave me a fresh pair of clothes. And he was like, all right, you can just chill here, play on the Xbox. So I loaded up Fortnite, and I played a round or two. I think I got, like, above 50. But back when, like, above, like, 50th place out of 100. That was about as good as I was going to do. But all I remember about Fortnite, there were very basic skins. And all it was shooting and building, you know?
Yeah,
And now-
it's very different now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I look at Fortnite content now. And that was like, that's got to be like 2 years ago at this point, maybe more. So like, I don't get it. I look at the content now and I just don't understand what's happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have fun with it.
I'm sure it's fun, but I also feel like that with do you ever play Minecraft?
Nope.
Man, I grew up with Minecraft. I played a lot of the early versions.
I grew up with Minesweeper.
Oh yeah. I also played some Minesweeper. I killed that shit. But I played some of the early versions, and I played up until like, I don't know, I want to say like 2015, and then I just fell off. And I tried to get back into it one day, and I was so many updates behind. The game was just like so hard to play because I just like there were so many new mechanics that are implemented in the game now that I just didn't understand.
Yeah, it was like you were locked in a time machine.
Yeah,
like,
dude, it
you were
sucked.
frozen in time, and then you came, and it was a whole new world.
And I see people playing Minecraft now, and the new mechanics are awesome, but I just like, I don't know. Maybe I'll get back into it one day. One more thing before we get to our interview. I have a band called Of Men and Manatees, and we are playing a show the day after this comes out. This comes out on the 26th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the day after this comes out. In St. Pete, Florida, at UU St. Pete. That's what are they? Universal Unitarian? Is that what it's called? It's a church. Playing a church show, and it should be a lot of fun. And it's for a good cause. It's a benefit show for the people out in Gaza. So if you're local, pop out. A bunch of bands, food trucks, vendors, bunch of cool shit going on. Anything else you got, Tim?
No.
All right, cool. Let's hear from Sam Stafford from Motion Sick. What's up, Sam? Welcome back to the show.
How are you guys doing? I'm excited to be back.
We're doing pretty good. How you doing, Tim?
I'm good, man.
Hell yeah. So we got a new album coming out as soon as this episode comes out too.
Yeah, today.
July 26th.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, you can absolutely go listen to that album. So
What
tell
it
us
feels like to be alive.
what it feels like to be alive by Motion Sick. Tell us about the album.
This album is kind of crazy for us. It hit us just after like the transitionary period of like Falling Behind. We started writing the album before Falling Behind even came out. Yeah, it's crazy to think that we've been not only like we've changed as people, but how much Motion Sick has changed. We went from a 3-piece to a 4-piece, and we've toured like a week plus long tour, one of them, and then like 2 half-week long tours without the album even coming out yet. And yeah, I don't know. It's this album kind of just puts together all the things that like we've wanted to do and like wanted to sound like, and it just kind of keeps like pushing it.
For sure.
Word.
So we got the track list sitting here in front of us. I figured we
Yeah.
could just like dive right in. Track number 1 is called Heights, kicking it off with a really good one. What can you tell us about that?
That's personally one of the standouts for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one that we played live quite a bit before the album came out or before it was even announced, because that song's just like so much fun to play. That riff was written by Hogan, our bassist. That's what they call like the Motion Six Creed song, because like that riff is very inspired by that, even though it's still like an emo pop punk riff at heart. But I said this the last time I was on the podcast. I do all the lyrics and I do a lot of the structural work. And so like what this song is about is it's one of the darker songs on the album. You can definitely tell by listening to it. Very much about like me reflecting on when I was like younger, and a lot of how like my depression was linked into the kind of person my parents wanted me to be, and the moral and kind of like religious their background and all those kinds of things, and how it didn't it's kind of funny because like there's so much that goes on in your head that like you don't fully like comprehend, whether it's like just like how you personally react to things. And there was a day that I was kind of like by myself and I was working on some music, and I was like, okay, I was just reflecting on that. Like, yeah, this really personally affected me. It wasn't very good. And, even if they don't like who I am now, like a ton, at the time they really didn't, but now we've bridged that gap. But even if they don't really like me, I'm happy that I'm who I am, and I went through all this. I should be proud that I came out of it as well as I did.
Damn. Yeah, that hit me hard. Yeah, I was also got the whole, raised in church kind of background. So I definitely hear that. It's a whole process of stepping away from that. No one's really ready for until they do it,
No. And there's that whole monologue at the end. I was contemplating putting that in or not. It talks about like, there's like so many like religious stories of like sacrificing your family. And yeah, I was thinking about that a lot at that time. Especially because it was like thankfully my family's kind of come around a little bit. They see how hard I'm working, especially like in the band and in like my actual job. And they've like accepted that I'm actually not a terrible person.
Yeah.
But like, especially at the time, it was like, man, if they don't care about me for who I like want to be and who I am and who I strive to be, like, is that really like family?
I hear that.
Which is like, it's a really depressing thought at the end of the day. Yeah, no, I'm really happy with how that song came out. We didn't make it a single because it's so dark, but we wanted it at like the front of the album, so like people will hear it. The whole album just like starts with that drum, and then kind of just drops.
Totally.
Yeah.
Speaking of singles, Mental Health is next on the album, and that's been on Spotify for a little bit. I've been bumping that for at least a couple months.
Yeah. It came out in May. That song was one of the first, if not the first, written for the album, especially coming from like Falling Behind and how those songs came about. Falling Behind is very much that EP is very like, oh, a girl broke up with me and I'm sad type beat.
Yeah.
Or that didn't really happen in my life at the time, that we were writing Falling Behind. And so I was kind of just like, in my head, I was like, do I really have anything to say as anything I said even really mattered. And so mental health was kind of just like it was me just kind of processing like, okay, I don't know what I have to say. I don't know what I'm doing, both writing and in my life. I'm still a person. I still have feelings. I still face daily challenges. And yeah, so mental health is kind of just like, I just gotta live and do what I do. That's kind of what that song is all about.
Word. I hear that. It's interesting that that's like it's sad, but like it's almost a little bit hopeful,
Yeah,
which
that a chapter ends, a new one's always starting.
Yeah,
like that line is one that we put that on a shirt, and then we've been selling it over the summer.
That's a great thing to put on a shirt.
It's just like, it's very like, life kind of sucks, but it's like, I'm still going.
Right. Which immediately dumps you into track 3 called I'm Broken. So, straight back down.
Yeah. But
I mean, isn't that how mental health is? It's very much up and down.
Oh, totally.
At least it is for me.
Totally.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. But
so,
I'm
so what's up with
broken.
that one? Yeah.
I'm broken despite being like, the title makes it sound kind of sad, but that's probably one of the most like upbeat. I wouldn't necessarily call it poppy with the way that it came out. Actually, big props to Ben, our drummer, because he
is that like the really like double timey one. Like when it comes in, it's if memory's serving me right. I could be wrong.
That's the next track.
Oh, my fault.
That's got the double time. But I definitely want to shout out Ben, because Furniture City Soundworks is his like studio here in the city, or in Grand Rapids, and yeah, he worked really hard on that song. A couple things when our original drummer recorded it definitely did not. That song could have ended up like really bad and like not being pieced together at all. Ben ended up, when he joined the band, rewrote and re-recorded every song in 3 days, like all the drum parts.
Oh, damn.
And that song, I'm Broken, turned out really good, in my opinion, with the way that it was. But no, the writing process of that one, that was written closer to the end of the songs. I was listening to a lot of Neck Deep and a lot of like State Champs at the time.
Totally.
And I was going through like some like relationship troubles, and I just kind of had like this little riff in my head that was like keeping me going a lot of the days. I was just like, man, I got to use this. And I just kind of like dumped all my feelings about that into I'm Broken. The whole like idea of like the please tell me if it's meant to be. There are a lot of pop punk songs that are either like, I love you and I want you, or like I want you back. And then there's like, screw you, you're the worst, we're breaking up. But there's nothing like, or there's not as many, I feel like, that kind of like hit the middle of like, man, I really don't know what I want. I really don't know what I'm doing. And that's kind of the note that I was hitting. And that was like the emotion that I was feeling. It was like, I want this, but also it's getting really, really hard. And I don't know if it'll survive. Is there anyone that can tell me if it's going to work out? And so that's what that song's about.
Hell yeah.
The next one is Brighter Blue.
Brighter Blue is a favorite of our friends, especially our friends in the band Wood School. They love Brighter Blue. That song is about my partner. It was written when we were like first started dating. They were going through a lot of like emotional stuff, like a lot of anniversaries of like deaths of like people that were really, really close to them. And I was not really handling it super well. We were fighting a lot, and it was just kind of like, I couldn't really get out what I was saying. And, sometimes you try to say something and it just doesn't, like the tone or the emotion doesn't come out right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
That was a lot of what I was struggling with. And so I kind of just like sat down and was like, okay, I did not say anything that I wanted to say, and I don't know what I'm saying. So I started writing a poem, which ended up being the chorus to that song. I kind of just kept rolling with it. Thankfully, that helped me process my, all the things that were going on. And me and my partner are doing great now. But that song was really like what I wanted to say when I was struggling to speak the most. Is like, I like wanted to be there for them. The whole I'll come for you like a fawn that can't find its way home. Yeah, I just had like that image in my mind of like, I like, it's the whole like, I just want to care for you. And even if like I don't know even if I'm not in your head, I still care.
Yeah, I hear that. It can be really tricky. Yeah.
And then that double time, that uptime kind of part again, Ben did a great job on that. Hits really hard. I'm really happy with how that song came out too.
Hell yeah. I remember listening to the album and those drums came in. I was like, holy shit. Like not to say like the album was like slow or anything up until that point, but like those drums really did like just come out of nowhere. It was very welcome surprise.
Yeah. A lot of Ben's influences are like hardcore drumming.
Okay, totally.
And so I think
There was
you can
a couple
kinda
songs
tell.
where we were like, hey, there's a little bit of an easy core vibe.
Yeah,
Yep.
totally.
Yeah.
Shout out Ben for real.
Shout out Ben for real. I hate that guy sometimes though.
That's so real.
I mean, aren't bands got a little bit of a hate and love relationship?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He picks on me the most.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure. Drummers are rascals, bro.
Shout out to Mikey.
Shout out Mikey. Yeah. This next one has such an emo title. This house is not your home.
Yeah, you guys just put that on Spotify not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This House Is Not Your Home was a song. It was especially inspired by like bands like Knuckle Puck and like those kinds of bands. And from a lyrical perspective, it's very much about like we have a lot of people in our lives that like have like kind of shitty home lives or like had shitty home lives, especially like during high school and like COVID. And especially coming out of COVID, you know, all of us having lost like 2 years of our lives to that. Not all of us really got to leave that. So that song is about like the people that we're close to that still are kind of in their like shitty home lives, and in an attempt to try and empathize with them, like let them know, yeah, like, hey, you're not alone. Your situation does not define you. And you really do deserve a good life despite what other people in your life are saying to you.
Word.
But yeah, Michael, our lead guitar player, loves that song.
That's a good song.
It was a good one. I remember really liking that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one, Double Bridge Gap. I personally love the bridge in that song.
The na bridge. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep. Yeah. That song was written about someone I was really close to in high school. Who we had a falling out. We like aren't friends anymore, period. Yeah, I was over just trying to, or like having this like friendship as like a 21-year-old that still felt like it was in the fucking lunchroom of my high school. It's like I was over the drama and like not communicating like adults. And so I wrote a song about it.
As we do, yeah.
Yeah. That song was also kind of like from a musical perspective was me kind of challenging myself. There was an album that came out last year. There were a couple songs on it that I was like, man, these like kind of suck. But I like the idea. I think I can write something that like capture a similar vibe, but would end up being like more energetic and more pop punk.
I feel this album in general is more pop punk than your
100%.
previous stuff I've listened to.
Oh yeah, that's a sound we've always wanted to come out. Falling Behind, especially, was like averted pop punk almost. Like I tried to avoid it because Falling Behind, I started writing the structures for the songs before Hogan even joined the band, and you know I wanted to write something that a 3-piece could tackle pretty easily because Where Strangers Once Slept was written all just by me, and I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna pretend that I have 3 other people in the band.
Yeah.
So like trying to play those songs was really hard. We became a 3-piece with Hogan, and we really wanted to do more pop punk stuff. I guess fate took its hand a little bit and presented us with Ben and Michael in our time of need, and now we can play these songs to their fullest like sound.
Hell yeah.
It's actually kind of funny that got brought up because we played Chicago for the first time without our old drummer on Saturday. And dude, the amount of people that were like, dude, you guys added a kick-ass drummer and you guys added another guitar. You blew me away. Like people that saw us the first time, they were just like coming up to us like, I saw you guys last November. You guys took it a step up. You guys are so fast and energetic and loud, and you all look like you love doing what you're doing. And that's what makes me the most happy is that that's coming out now.
I was gonna say, like, people who have been in our DIY scene a lot, like having someone come up to you and be like, I am a repeat, concert goer of yours, and you guys are getting better. Like, that's just such a good thing to hear. The fact that someone's willing to come to your show more than once,
it's so huge.
That's a compliment in of itself,
It's really, it really is a compliment.
Especially like an out of town show too.
Yeah, no, Chicago showed up and we played with our good friends in Life Looks Good, and they were just like, Rocco, their lead singer, came up to me after the show and was like, dude, I love you guys. You guys are fucking awesome.
That's so cool.
And then our van died.
You want to tell us about that?
Oh, yeah, sure. We were driving from St. Louis Saturday morning. We stopped at a Wendy's and the van wouldn't start. It would just click. It wouldn't even try to go. We ended up getting someone stopped and helped us jump the van. And we thought that was just going to be the norm, is like, we leave it for too long, someone's going to have to jump us.
Yeah.
But we got to Chicago, unloaded, parked the van, turned it off, tried to start it again. It went. And so we were just like, okay, 50-50, I guess. After the show, came back out to our van, wouldn't start. Dylan in Life Looks Good tried to have the van, like to jump the van.
Yeah.
Still wouldn't go. So we were
either a starter or an alternator or something.
Yeah. So what ended up happening is that we had to carry our equipment a little bit over half a mile.
Oh, Jesus.
To where our van was. And
that's rough.
In Chicago at night at like 11 p.m.
Damn.
Or more like 10 p.m. And we took care of all that, carried all the cabs and the merch and all that. Awful experience. We were just kind of contemplating, like, what are we going to do? And so we ended up trying to call a tow truck. Then our friends in Life Looks Good took all of our stuff to one of their apartments so that it was like safe. And we wouldn't have to leave it in the van or anything like that. And we just waited for the tow truck. It was, again, 10 o'clock at night. It said, like, I'd called my insurance company because we have like the free towing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, roadside assistance.
Yeah, which didn't even end up happening. They made me pay anyway. They said that a tow truck would show up at 1:17 a.m.
Oh,
again,
Jesus.
It was 10 p.m. and we were just like, all right, whatever. We'll survive. We can wait the 3 hours. We'll just sit in the van. But as we're like talking about this, we kind of look up at the sky and it's like, it's still dark, but it turns like an almost orange tint. And we all look at our phones and it's like, it's about to downpour. So me, Michael, Hogan, and Ben, we camped out in the van until 2 a.m. in downpouring, thundering storm.
Jesus.
And we were surviving. All of our phones were surviving off one battery pack that I had. And we were just like trading the charger around. And the worst part about it is that the tow truck never even showed up.
Oh my God.
It got to 2:30 a.m. and Michael just opened up the back doors of the van, stood outside in the rain and was like, guys, we have to call this. This fucking sucks. And so I tried to cancel the tow truck, didn't cancel. It actually still says on my phone that the tow truck is going to show up shortly.
Oh my God.
What the hell, man?
We went to our buddy's place where all our stuff was at, and at like 4 a.m. slept for 4 hours, and then went to go check out the van to make sure that it wasn't broken into and we didn't get any tickets. The solution to that was my partner's family came down with they have like a big truck or a big van, like that can haul a ton. It's got like an extended towing package or something like that, and they borrowed a trailer, and they ended up hauling the van all the way from Chicago back to Michigan.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, you got some. Your partner's parents are good people.
Yeah, they came in clutch.
Better people than me. Like, no way I would have done something like that.
We paid them back gas. I owe them a little money.
I'm sure.
George Bush Light,
which is
excellent name.
Yeah, fantastic. Might be my favorite.
That was Ben.
Man, Ben is just coming in clutch on this album.
Yeah.
So that song, that's a song that I was just like, I just wanted to write something fun, something fast. Or or something like really like poppy, jumpy. It's the most poppy song on the album, but I feel like the way we play it live, it comes across really fun. We played it in Chicago. It's just kind of me reminiscing about shitty relationships. The lyrics aren't super deep, but the whole point was like we wanted a fun song that we could just like feel and like jump up and down.
Definitely is a fun song.
Yeah, get the crowd going. Yeah, 100%. Next one we got is Exercising Patience.
That one's really cool. I like that one a lot. It's actually very much inspired by C4 by Heart Attack Man.
Okay.
Because we saw them live like just before their album dropped last year, and they played that song live. I was very much like I thought the way that they did the choruses in those songs was really good. I hate when a song has like 4 choruses, but they're all like super long and the song's like 5 minutes. That Heart Attack Man song is like super short, super fast, and I was like, this is really, really cool. I wanted to do something kind of similar to that.
Ironic that the song is called Exercising Patience and you're complaining about songs being too long.
Yeah. I never really put that together.
You're good, bro. You're good.
The song is definitely about me and my, like, I guess you'd call it like body health issues. Especially being in like music, you get pictures and videos taken of you all the time. You look at yourself and you're like, damn, I just kind of hate the way I look. And that song is kind of me just being like, bro, you got to let yourself relax, chill out. You're fine. I went to the doctor. I'm perfectly healthy. Just chill. You're cool. So it's about kind of just accepting the way that you look, the way that you are. It's a good song.
I hear that. I used to be like really cautious on stage when I knew there was a photographer, you know?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I have to look cool all the time. And like it would like get in the way of me just having a good time. So I definitely hear that.
Yeah. As soon as you let go of that, you kind of just can just have fun.
Honestly, like that creates amazing pictures a lot of the time.
It does.
If you're having a good time.
We didn't even ask this guy in St. Louis, but he just took pictures of us.
Yeah.
Like, a ton of pictures. And we got them yesterday and they were so good. And there's a really, really good one of me singing into the microphone with my new reverend. I don't know. I was happy with how that came out.
Hell yeah. So next one we got is called Postcards.
Only acoustic song on the album, and my favorite song on this album.
Yeah, that one was really good. I remember that one.
Postcards is another song kind of like about my current relationship. Like you in your life, you always come through like it's an ebb and flow. You have like moments in your life that aren't super great, but you still want to push through. It's about like those kinds of things. Not so much like inner relationship problems, but like things on the outside that we have to tackle together. So the whole like are my postcards sending that imagery, that whole metaphor is just like, yeah, I may be like on tour. We live in 2 like separate towns that are like an hour away. I may be an hour away, but I still care. I still want to be with you. You know, we're still facing the challenges and we're going to get through this.
Totally.
Word.
Well, we have technically two tracks left, but one of them's kind of that interlude. How did that come about? Like, what was the idea for that? And I also thought it was interesting that that's the title track is the interlude.
I've never seen that before. An interlude as a title track.
So yeah, what inspired that?
So the interlude and the last song, they were at one point just one song.
Okay.
But like we were like in the studio and we were, just kind of talking about it, and it was like, yeah, like this part's really cool. We could do some production stuff to make it like bigger. But like we should definitely chop it up. Initially, it was a lot shorter. We were all jamming to the newest Alkaline Trio track, or the new Alkaline Trio album, Blood, Hair, and Eyeballs, where they also have like an interlude that's like really long and just like all music, no vocals, no sample, no anything.
Yeah,
he was talking about
the Matt Skiba.
Yeah, earlier.
Yeah, I was saying.
Ironic you say that.
Yeah, that's kind of where that came from. Is like we wanted to have like that longer intro with some nice chords, melody, all that kind of stuff behind it.
Totally.
And then we ended up naming it because we didn't want to just call it interlude because it's like the second to last track.
Yeah.
And we didn't really know what to call it, so we are just like, it's kind of like, I think of it kind of like Dark Souls when you're like just about to get to the boss.
Yeah.
and you have like the campfire,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like your one moment of rest before like the big ending.
Oh,
You go
interesting.
tackle the boss, and so
Yeah.
we ended up just naming it the title of the album because like it just felt appropriate, just felt right.
Okay, so you already had the title of the album worked out at that point.
Yeah,
Okay.
we had
okay.
the title of the album going into the studio.
Yeah, I was wondering which of those came first.
Yeah,
And then finally it's Crash, and that song is emotional and it's awesome.
Yeah.
yeah. That one was very much. It started out kind of. We wanted it to be kind of sounding like Falling Behind, but especially when we added Ben and Michael,
Mhm.
it took on like this like heavy punching kind of like feel to it with the way that like the chords start in the beginning. That song and also Brighter Blue, when I play them live, I actually play them in the same tuning as Falling Behind. For all the guitar nerds out there,
Yeah.
the whole album is in either drop C sharp or E flat standard, except for those two songs. They're in D A E A C sharp E.
Oh, I love that tuning. Tiny moving
Yeah.
parts tuning. Yeah.
And then we just threw a ton of gain on it.
Hell yeah.
Just because we could. And it's loud and it's heavy. That song also written in parallel, believe it or not, with Don't Tell Me I'm a Joke. Way back when I wrote those songs.
No, I hear it, like that song, because I listen to you guys a lot lately since our last interview, and
Appreciate
I listen to all your stuff on Spotify and probably have listened to all of it now, and it sounds like your older stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'd crashed my car, as I say in the song. Roads were awful. I was the third person to spin out that day, and I'd hit a tree. Like I hit it like with the side of my car.
Third
and
person that day?
Yeah.
God,
And that's the reason why they didn't give me a ticket,
Okay.
which happens in Michigan a lot. You crash in the winter, you get a ticket.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And yeah, so I'd hit the tree on the side. I was terrified. I was in a ditch. I couldn't really see anything. Someone saw and called the police, and we got a tow truck out. But I was at home just after the fact, just like contemplating, like, man, if I had just been going a little bit faster, or like my car was like a little bit heavier, caused more acceleration, like I could have hit that tree head on and it would have been way worse. Or like if I hit that tree a little bit harder, I would have, it would have like went through the door and actually hit me. So that's where that like, when is my turn to feel the slow release of death, is like I was contemplating like, wow, I was really pretty close there to being seriously injured or worse. Yeah, that song was just kind of me stuck alone, just kind of pouring out like all the dark thoughts that were just kind of going through my brain, all the terrifying what ifs. The ending, like, because it slows down for a second, and then there's that phrase that's like repeated a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
That was when I crashed the car, and for like a couple weeks after that, I was listening to a lot of Touche Amore. If you've ever heard of that band. And so
Good band.
they were an inspiration to me at the time. I felt a lot of their music at that time in my life, and I really liked how he was like just like the yelling that he does, and I wanted to express a similar emotion at the end of that song.
Hell yeah. I think it came out. That was one of my favorites on the album.
Now hearing you say it, and I know exactly what you're talking about at the end of that song now. Yeah, that very much has a Touche Amore feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a question for you guys, actually.
Cool.
I'm curious what your guys' favorite song on the album is.
Well, mine was Postcards.
Yours is Postcards?
Postcards is like up there. Yeah. This House Is Not Your Home was really good.
That one was really good too.
I think
that one's fun
might be my
live.
favorite. I think I need to sit with the album a little bit longer, but right now I think that's my favorite.
Cool. Well, I appreciate that. I love the album so much. It's a bunch of songs we really feel. And
we love the album too, man.
I'm happy.
Hell yeah.
I'm happy.
The album is called What It Feels Like to Be Alive, and it'll be out on the 26th when
Today.
the episode comes out. Yeah.
Right now.
Today.
Go listen on Spotify,
Go listen to the
Amazon, all that.
And
I do have one or two things I'd like to plug before this episode ends.
Go ahead, bro.
This week that the episode's airing, we announced a new tour. We're going to be playing pretty much almost the entire album on the tour. We're hitting up, obviously, like close to home, Kalamazoo, Cleveland. We're going to Buffalo, or not Buffalo, Rochester, New York, and Boston, and Brooklyn, and Pittsburgh, and Columbus. If you're in any of those cities, you should come see us. It's going to be a good time. Our Instagram at MotionSickMI will have all the dates. And also on our Instagram, we will soon, very soon, have merch that you can buy online.
Sweet. Hell yeah. That's super sick. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, man.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to listen to a song now from Motion Sick, and we'll let Sam introduce it for you, to us.
Yeah. I've been Sam from Motion Sick, and this next song is called Crash.
I crashed my car, I wish I died. Know what it feels like to be alive. Now the cold wind blows down my thicker skin as I walk away with my car in a ditch. When is my turn to feel the slow release of death? Or will this tree I broke down under fall and make my bones cave in? Am I lucky I'm still breathing through these lungs? It doesn't feel like it when I don't know where I'm from. When my funeral, I'll be there. It's not like I've got days to spare. I'll mark the date, the time, and where. If we speed through this affair. Flowers died, the church had closed. I didn't see who I'll miss most. And the pastor's speech came to a close, saying, Father, take him home. When is my turn to feel the slow release of death? Or will this tree I broke down under fall and make my bones cave in? Am I lucky I'm still breathing through these lungs? It doesn't feel like it when I don't know where I'm from. My life's not worth much. I know it's hard to say goodbye. I hope it's enough. All I ask is please don't cry. My life's not worth much. I know it's hard to say goodbye. I hope it's enough. All I ask is please don't cry. My life's not worth much. I know it's hard to say goodbye. I hope it's enough. All I ask is please don't cry. My life's not worth much. I know it's hard to say goodbye. I hope it's enough. All I ask is please don't cry.
Hey, Rumble.
Some crazy stuff is going on. We don't talk about politics a lot here, but it's getting hard not to. So
Yeah.
so we're not gonna get like super opinionated or anything, but let's just talk about what's going on because it's crazy interesting. I'm gonna try to go in order here. Trump has a rally in Pennsylvania, and he is millimeters away from being killed. Gets a chunk of his right ear blown off, rushed off the stage by a Secret Service. This is unrelated, but did you see like the clips? Am I the only one that thinks it's weird that he kind of like stood there for a second with his hand in the air? Shouldn't have Secret Service like gotten him the hell off the
Tackled him
stage
and like removed him?
I'm not saying this isn't like
Got him to safety?
This isn't me like sprouting some inside job conspiracy theory. I mean, who knows what happened? But I just think it's weird. I'm just pointing it out for the sake of pointing it out. Anyway, so that happens. Kyle Gass from Tenacious D.
Love that guy.
Love that guy. I think we all saw what happened. They were in Sydney, Australia, I believe. playing a show, and he made a joke about not missing Trump next time, and they got like super shit on for that. Like, oh my God, this is a national tragedy and everything. Tenacious D has made their living off of shock value and, you know, making slightly off color jokes sometimes. It's always been their image.
Absolutely, dude.
And people are all like, oh, they're such, like, you know, Jack Black is very open about endorsing Biden. So they're like, oh, they're so anti-Trump. They're trying to say they should have, like, no one, I hope, really truly thinks that kind of violence has a place in this nation. But, like, why are we getting upset at people for making jokes when we've been doing it for how long? Have Tenacious D been active?
I guarantee you, somebody else, some comedian somewhere, a few days after that event, made the same exact fucking joke.
Oh, I'm sure.
And they're not getting the same backlash that Kyle Gass is getting. I just don't think it's fair. Was it in poor taste?
It probably was, yeah.
But should he, like, be completely blacklisted and not even allowed to be part of Tenacious D anymore? No.
So we haven't gotten any, like, super official statements. I mean, Jack said that he's putting everything on hold right now.
Yeah.
So
but they were in a tour. They stopped the tour.
Yeah, that's rough. So I guess we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, the RNC happens. Trump shows up with this big white bandage after Hulk Hogan does his whole Trumpomania, brother, and rips off his shirt, being Hulk Hogan. Who has a new beer, you were saying?
You can get it at Walmart.
Interesting. I don't drink. How have you tried it?
No, but I just have to. When I see it, I will try it. I've not tried it yet.
Are you into beer?
I like IPAs. It seems more like he's like an
you're
American
such a millennial.
Beer. I am a millennial hipster. Don't be hating.
Oh, I hate IPAs. Trump comes out with this big white bandage, and then for the remainder of the RNC, people, quote unquote, in solidarity, were wearing big white bandages on their right ear, looking like fools, in my opinion. In solidarity, he's gonna be fine. He didn't die. Good Lord.
People looking goofy, walking around with just band-aids on their ears.
People looking mad goofy. You want to hear something funny about the RNC? I intentionally didn't bring this up before the podcast because I wanted to get your reaction.
Oh boy.
I'm hoping you didn't hear about this.
I probably didn't. I don't follow any news.
Okay. In the city of Milwaukee, the gay hookup app Grindr crashed during the dates of the RNC at the place it was being held. Global, like, GPS satellite info shows that it was an influx of new accounts made in the building. Like, that's how exact our GPSs can get. Hundreds of accounts opening up in the building for closeted gay Republicans to hook up with each other so much that it crashed the app.
That's kind of gnarly, dude.
Isn't that gnarly? Like, come on, just come out. It's 2024. Who gives a shit? Like, it's so funny. Like, the most anti-gay people are the gayest sometimes.
I mean,
oh, God.
Because they grew up in a society where it wasn't okay.
Yeah, man. I mean,
and they're still stuck with that.
It's a little sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's hilarious. So, moving on, the final piece of political news in this whole puzzle is as of the day we're recording this. So, the day you're hearing it, it'll be like a week ahead.
4 days.
4 days? Okay,
yeah.
My bad.
It's Monday. This is dropping on Friday the 26th.
Word. So I guess on Sunday then. Biden announced that he is dropping out of the race. He's going to focus on finishing his term. He fully endorsed Miss Kamala Harris to be his successor. That doesn't mean she's going to be, like, guaranteed, but she does have a very big advantage. This is unprecedented, and that is not me making a pun. This is just, like, historical moments happening in front of us. Something like
Very much.
Something like this has not happened. Not to mention, like, Trump getting, almost assassinated. That doesn't happen often. I mean,
no, I don't know when that last.
It happens more often than it should.
Presidential assassination attempt was
Reagan. Yeah, wasn't it?
That we know of.
Yeah, and then Biden dropping out this late into the race. Nothing like this has ever happened before. So, as far as I can tell, the short list for the DNC, who they're going to pick for the next president, is going to be Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama, or Gavin Newsom, governor of California. I'm not here to spout off about my opinions about these people. Do your homework and make your own opinions about these people. Please go to the polls and vote. If everyone believes their vote isn't important, then nobody's vote is important. You know what I mean? So believe that your vote's important.
The one thing
voice your opinion.
that I urge you to vote on in the state of Florida.
Vote yes on 3, baby.
Yes.
Vote yes on 3. Legalize it.
And then we'll work on letting us grow.
Yeah. It's very easy to become apathetic. So just try not to, and try to put whatever little faith you have in the system and go voice your opinion. That being said,
let us know.
Yeah.
Voice your opinion. Let us know what you think of our show.
Totally. So Biden dropping out. The DNC, obviously they have those 3 safe options, but I want to know, Tim, do you have a musician who you think the DNC should nominate? Who do you think would make a great president?
I mean, obviously live, right?
Yeah, got to be alive. Like right now, wild card, the DNC nominates who?
My gut instinct, she can't run for president.
Oh, is it not American?
And she's not even a musician.
Who?
Sharon Osbourne.
Oh man, yeah. She's got a level head. I mean, if she could tame Ozzy,
I would love Sharon Osbourne.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That would be cool.
Oh, that would be cool. I have no idea how well it would go, but I'm sticking with who I think is probably one of the greatest musicians of our lifetime, if not the greatest, Mr. Dave Grohl. I would nominate.
I mean, yeah, there we go.
I would nominate.
I don't know. I went to like Ozzy and I was like, no, Ozzy can't be president. Then I went to Sharon. I was like, Sharon.
Mr. Good Guy Dave Grohl. Mr. Fun Uncle Dave Grohl. You know, I think he would, if nothing else, he would make a very fun president.
I don't think he would even want to be president.
Oh, hell no. No, he would never do that. But hey, you know, if Arnold could do it, I think Dave could do it too. So yeah, I'm going Dave Grohl for Mr. President. And I think Sharon Osbourne would make a good one too if she wasn't so damn British.
Right? She wasn't born in the U.S.
No. I think that's all I got though.
Yeah. That's our show. Thanks for listening. As always, you can find all the episodes and more content on www.thenewfury.com.
You can also check us out at rumblevs.theairwaves on all social media.
And send us an email.
Yeah.
Bye.
I think that, yeah. See ya.